Hello, everybody, and welcome to Oh Baby a Triple, the TV show turned radio show turned podcast turned live stream. I'm your host, Corey, and joining me is Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Hi.
Hi, Dante. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it's morning where I am. It's not really morning where you are in limbo.
In Redgrave.
In Redgrave.
Where I live.
Right, yeah.
In my shop.
Yeah. But seriously though, thank you, Mo, for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We as in me.
Yeah.
And the other hosts of Oh Baby a Triple.
I feel like I should be thanking you instead because I've been aggressively breathing down your neck. Trying to be like, oh, it's totally cool that you let people on and talk about stuff. That would be really great if we talked about Devil May Cry maybe at one point.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually really, it was really funny because we were chatting last week about what we should do, and someone was like, well, look in chat even before we started the show, and Mo was like, oh my gosh, I'm at work, but here's my pick for next week. And we were like, yeah, let's do it. And I texted you, right? And I said, Mo, let's do, will you be our host next week? Will you be our host and let us, help us out next week? And she's like, are you saying what I think you're saying? I was like, yeah, Insane Clown Posse Part 2.
You playing?
And I was playing Devil May Cry.
Oh, man. Yeah,
so,
I prepared.
I was about to say, I understand you've prepared something for us.
Oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of notes.
Amazing.
I got more notes. Yeah, I wrote this all down. Legit, it's... Look, okay, so our viewers don't know, you are very aware, our friends are very aware that I have been on a really extreme Devil May Cry kick lately.
Yes.
So to kind of rein it in and make my thought process, coherent, I had to, organize it and stuff like that. Even before we started this episode, I was like, Corey, I'm writing the notes in order.
Very excited.
I'm trying to keep a lid on it. So, yeah. So if you guys ever wonder, oh, wow, she's really passionate about it, she's really getting into it, I'm holding back. So.
Well, let's get into it. I think I'm super excited. You are my teacher for this episode.
Yes, I will actually. I also have to say real quick that my dad said he wanted to watch this episode.
Hi, Mo's dad.
Yeah. He's not watching right now,
okay.
But he'll probably watch it at some point. Which I'm not saying we have to exclude anything.
Yeah.
But I'm just
listen. If we got dads in the chat, if we have dads in the chat, let's all welcome him. Let's all be super kind and welcome him.
Say hi to my dad.
Say hi to the dads in chat.
He cares. It's nice.
He cares. Doesn't he also look like a character from Devil May Cry?
Okay, so I was playing 5, and I kind of noticed, especially because 5 is it came out in 2009, so it's really nice, really crisp, graphics.
Mm-hmm.
So they got real models to base the faces off of, so they look really, really real.
Right.
All the character models look really nice and real. And Dante has very similar facial features to my dad. And I've said this to my brother, and I've showed him a whole bunch of pictures, and he says no. But it's already in my head, and I'm already convinced that Dante looks a little bit like my dad, and it's kind of awful and terrible because I also admitted to my friends that I simp for Dante, and it's been a crisis.
Oh.
I'm in a crisis.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's my shame simp though.
Your dad? Or Dante?
Yeah, if that matters to anyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's someone I simp for, but I'm very ashamed that I simp for him. Because he's a big dumb baby.
He is a big dumb baby. I was telling you before the show, I prepared by watching the intro scene to Devil May Cry 3.
Oh yeah.
The one where he's like completely naked.
Oh yeah.
And they have all like the creative shots that just barely hide everything.
Oh yeah. It's perfect. It's it's art. Yeah, when he was telling me that too, I was like, please say 3. Please say 3. 3 is the good one.
3 is the amazing, and I just love it too. He's like, he's just buck naked, and then like he's being attacked, and he's like, I gotta jump in my trailer, and as he's flying through his trailer that's like rolling around.
Wait, the trailer?
I think it was a trailer. That or like.
No, you did. That's not 3.
That's not 3?
No, that's the reboot that most of the fandom hates.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't watch the same intro.
I mean, it's still good that you got that because there's a lot of stuff I have to say about. I am going to talk about the reboot.
Oh,
for
okay.
people who like Devil May Cry, I'm going to talk about the reboot. Just warning you. But also there's cool elements. One thing Devil May Cry does really well is they will take things that already exist, that happen in previous games or whatever, and it's like they almost give more meaning to them, like as the games go on, whether it's like story-wise, character-wise, or if it's like little cinematic things like that. Like how that opening happened influenced how a bit of the opening in Devil May Cry happened. So Devil May Cry is really good at like picking up things and just like kneading it into the whole. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I get that a little bit.
So I'll add it once we get there.
Okay.
But
okay.
it's kind of really cool. It's a really cool thing. So, where do I start?
I'll let you take it away. I mean, where else do you start? I would have guessed the beginning, but.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, I'm going to really quick bring up my experience with Devil May Cry.
Okay.
My experience is when I was a kid, I had a PS2. And I actually got the first game when I think it was like after the second game came out. So I was still like late in the game. So I got it after that came out. I played the first one, obviously loved it. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I played the second one.
You think you played
I
it?
remember nothing of it, yeah. Which, once I start talking about the second one, it will make a lot of sense. It's just not very memorable and, like, stuff like that. And, I played 3 kind of late, like, after it came out. But it was still, like, parts of my childhood. Like, I still kept, I'd remember it and stuff like that. I also had, like, a big family. In the sense where, like, if it was my PlayStation, it technically was my PlayStation, like 4 other people's PlayStations.
Oh, yeah.
So I unfortunately didn't, like, get as, like, deep divey as other people did as they were a kid, which I'm actually really disappointed about, because that Devil May Cry is a game where, like, you get the most out of it, like, if you get into it. Like, it's still enjoyable if you don't, but, like, you get more rewards, like, if you really, really get into it. And, 4 came out. I played 4 when it came out. I played the reboot when it came out.
Yeah.
And then I played 5 a year after it came out. So I just recently played 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know it wasn't, like, too in-depth, but the point is, like, I did still grow up with it, and even though, like, there'll be times in my life where, like, I'm playing other video games or, like, I'm not really thinking about Devil May Cry, it tends to come back.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like with a lot of people in the fandom, too, like, that's how it happened. Like, it was a game they played when they were a kid, and then, like, every time a new game comes out, it's like their love, like, comes back. And then they get, like, they deep dive into it again. So,
they get sucked back in.
Oh, yeah. But it's definitely, the biggest reason I'm pointing this out is it definitely feels like a universal feeling. Like, this game just ends up doing that to people. Like, it's just not just me, like, I'm a big fan or whatever, but, like, if there's a Devil May Cry fan, I've never met a Devil May Cry fan that just casually liked Devil May Cry. Does that make sense?
It's Moe.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a casual fan right here.
No. There are definitely Devil May Cry fans who would call me a casual, though.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, because it's gameplay wise, I'm smart enough to know what's going on. I'm not smart enough to. So we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll talk about
Okay.
it. We'll get
Yeah.
there. We'll get there. Okay. So just a warning too for everybody: there will be spoilers.
Big spoilers.
Mostly because I do not know how to explain a lot of things without just like saying them. So if you actually care, just letting you know, I'm probably gonna be.
If you actually care, just mute it and keep watching in the background so that we can have the view.
Yeah, exactly.
And do something else.
You can look at my $9 Amazon Dante link.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Beautiful. I should have gotten a hairnet, but I feel like it gives it more character.
I should have gotten a hairnet. No, I like it. It looks good.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Devil May Cry 1, where it all started. 2001. It came out in 2001.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah. Long time coming. And it came out in a time where like 3D games were just brand new, or like they're still trying to like get a hold of itself. You know, most of them were like a little awkward. I'm trying to think of other games like Devil May Cry in that era, and although there are a few, like I personally can't really remember them. None of them really like stuff. Oh, I remember the bouncer.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. It's almost like a fighting action character game. Okay. That's what Devil May Cry would be described as. The point is, even if there were games that were kind of doing what Devil May Cry did, Devil May Cry really polished the kind of genre that was character action games. And it actually came from Resident Evil 4, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Capcom was making Resident Evil 4, and I don't remember how far they got into it, but basically there was a point where the team was like, it's getting weird. This isn't Resident Evil anymore. But they had such like a fleshed out idea already that they decided to make it a new game. Thus came Devil May Cry.
Our beautiful baby was
right
born.
Out of Resident Evil. Oh yeah. And if you actually like, when you're playing the game, it's very easy to pinpoint like Resident Evil influences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like there's especially with the first one, there's like very there's a lot of like get this item to open up another thing to get to the next area, and a lot of like design choices that are very similar.
So,
evil spooky castle.
So you're telling me that like you got Resident Evil 4 on the chopping block, right? And everything that they chop off and throw on the floor is like what the Devil May Cry team picks up.
Well, they actually, it was a fleshed out, almost a fleshed out idea. Like it was like they had something there.
Okay.
But they completely scrapped it as Resident Evil 4. So it's that nothing from Devil May Cry got into Resident Evil 4, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like for Resident Evil 4, I think they tried one more time, scrapped that, and then they made what Resident Evil 4 is.
That's kind of funny to think about Devil May Cry as like what Resident Evil 4 could have been.
Oh yeah. And once you get into Devil May Cry, you understand why they didn't make it Resident Evil. Yeah, it's also one thing I'll talk about too is it's kind of really funny how the first game develops as just a normal game with a normal story, and like it develops its own weird, bizarre character as like the game goes on.
Right.
Yeah, and it's definitely influenced by the weird things that happened. We'll get there.
Okay.
It's one of those things where, like, I'll have to explain in the timeline. This is why I organized my notes, everybody. So I didn't go off the rails. So, the story begins telling you the Legend of Sparta. So, 2,000 years ago, a demon revolted against the Demon King. His name was Sparta. It's called the Legendary Dark Knight. And he did it to save the humans, to separate the demons from the humans.
Yeah, we learned this in history class.
The
Everyone knows this.
Yeah, exactly. So you all know.
Yeah.
Just a little refresher, you know, if you don't remember middle school and high school history class. But yeah, and he sealed off the world and separated the demons from the humans, and then supposedly disappeared from history.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is the first thing you learned. And you see like this animation with like fire in the background, and then just like this weird bug demon like swinging a sword with like this really like old school like ye old English font that you can't read.
Yeah.
Like scrolling up.
Devil May
But
Cry.
it's nice. It's nice because they still give you actual subtitles over the bottom, so you still know what's going on. But yeah, that's the first thing you learn. The first thing that happens when you play Devil May Cry. And then Devil May Cry is also known for the insane opening cutscenes. Just like the first cutscene is always like one of the wildest.
Right.
And the synopsis of the story is like a corset-clad woman runs a motorcycle into the front of Dante's shop. Dante
what
states,
an entrance.
For real. Dante states, "Slow down, babe. Bathroom's in the back." Yeah. They have kind of a conversation,
right.
But then the woman attacks Dante. She stabs him with his own sword, like impales him. Starts shocking him with lightning, and that's when you find out that Dante isn't human, because she throws the motorcycle at him, and he takes out his guns, says, "Ha, time to go to work, boys," and then shoots the motorcycle away from him. Oh yeah. So that's how you find out he's not human, along with him immediately after stating, "I'm not human."
Well, you have to make sure because you know, like my uncle can do that on any given Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, sometimes babe comes in with a motorcycle needing to pee real bad, but she's so angry she just kills you or attempts to kill you by throwing her motorcycle at you.
It's good that you said uncle. We're gonna put a pin on that. Yeah. So yeah, that happened. That's how she introduced herself to Dante. And then when Dante's ready to fight back, she's like, "I'm not your enemy. I was actually here to test you." Exactly. There's an evil demon king named Mundus on an island called Malay Island. He's the one who killed your mother and your twin brother when you were 8.
His name's Mundus?
Mundus.
It's a bitch name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll get there. Yeah, and she's like, "He's the one who killed your mother and your twin brother when you were a kid. Will you help me kill him?" And Trish, her name's Trish. I should say she introduced herself as Trish. Yeah. She takes off her sunglasses, and then Dante noticed she looks identical to his mother.
Oh.
Yeah, and then he says yes. So the whole game, I basically told you 3/4 of the story right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's the story in the first game is very like simple, cut and dry. Like, ooh, bad guy killed your mom. Oh, he's gonna get him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's gonna get him. And yeah, and then you go to Malay Island, and then you kill a whole bunch of demons. Yeah. Story-wise, that's mostly everything that happens, but it's also a thing with Devil May Cry where the story is usually very simple. There's not a whole bunch, like it's not crazy complicated. And gameplay is really like 5 to 7 hours. Like it's a super short game. Yeah. But it's a game that encourages you to replay it.
Okay.
Yeah. So like there's not much going on with like story content, and they get better as the games go on. But like this is very cut and dry. Like, ooh, bad guy, demon bad guy.
Ooh, bad guy.
He does very like, oh look, he's a bad guy kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So immediately you get to the island and Trish kind of like ollies out. And Malay Island is
like parkour rolls out.
Legit, she jumps super high onto a ledge and just ditches you.
Damn.
Legit, like you're like, okay, bye. Yeah. So.
Like, all right, bye, Mom.
Oh yeah. I hate that you said mom, and I was like, uh-huh.
Well, she looks like Mom, so bye, Mom.
Identical. And Malay Island is like, it's a very dark, dank, very evil looking castle. It has lots of gothic, like cathedral-esque imagery in there. So there's a lot of like marble statues, like columns, stained glass everywhere. And most of the areas are kind of very like tight-knit. This is another thing you'll notice from Resident Evil. The areas are very small. They're pretty tiny.
Are they foggy?
It's I think it's more for like the atmosphere and also for you to be clever during gameplay.
Okay.
Well, I'm just kind of like painting the picture of like the kind of area. And there's points in the game where like you end up at like an abandoned pirate ship.
Ooh.
Yeah. To be honest, I can't really elaborate more than that because I play the game and I don't really know how we got there, but like
There's a pirate
so
ship.
there's stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like the Goonies. There's pirates. They just show up. There's treasure.
Yeah. For real. It's great. There's also one skeleton on the pirate ship that when you
Is his name Bones?
I wish I knew his name. And I hope it's Bones. I hope so.
You're calling Bones.
But you click on him to examine him, and he's like, oh, he looks like he's smiling. Because apparently you can tell when skeletons are smiling. But the point is, there actually was a pirate.
Okay.
There's that skeleton.
Like a real booty hunter.
Oh, yeah. So, all the characters that are really in the game, like, worth mentioning, this is how small of a game it is. It's Dante, Trish, Mundus. That's it.
Dang. It's tiny.
Yeah. It's super small. And there's a little more characters with, like, the bosses, obviously.
Right.
But those are pretty much, like, the characters that do anything in the game. Minus, like, fighting you. Like, they are the ones with the dialogue. They're the ones that really, like, give anything to the story. Besides, like, yo, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, it's super tiny. And Dante, if no one knows, red coat, white-haired man, he's got a very, like, devil may care attitude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's very cheeky. He was actually based off of, a character named, Cobra from an 80s anime. Never heard of it. I have no idea what it is. I just found that out. It's actually a little tidbit. Yeah. But it was, very cocky. You know, he's gonna fight you with a smirk.
Yeah.
He's ready to taunt you. He's ready to, like, make fun of you. It's a really cool character. A really fun guy to play. Trish, she's got lightning powers. She's got, like, the femme fatale look. Very, like, long blonde hair. Like I said, black corset with, like, a little, lightning bolt cut out.
Ooh.
What looks like leather pants and boots. And Mundus, the big imagery with him is, like, 3 eyes.
Oh.
And, like, a giant marble statue. He looks like a giant marble statue with, like, wings. And he's got, like, a big beard. He looks very, I don't want to say godlike, but...
Mundus sounds like he's thick. He's got, like, a pizza. He's got, like, a marble pizza in his hand.
A marble pizza?
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
He's like, my name Mundus.
Absolutely.
And he, like, lifts, and he lifts in one hand, and he pizzas in the other hand.
Maybe it's a demon thing. Pizza's a demon thing.
Pizza is a demon thing.
Yeah.
It's sinfully delicious.
Sinfully delicious.
Good pizza is sinfully delicious.
What kind of pizza do you think Mundus would prefer? Like
Mundus himself, as a marble looking demon, I think it's a margarita. Like classic margarita pizza.
Okay, yeah, I think that fits.
You know, you got the blotches of cheese, you got the blotches of sauce.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it now. Yep, I can see it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like it's like, yeah. I
It
don't
fits.
need to explain it any further. It just fits.
Yeah, I'm saying it. I get it. I get you. I get you.
Thank you.
Dante's a glutton, so he'll eat anything. He's a slob. We'll get there. We'll get to that character development.
There's been a lot of we'll get there's. There's a lot to explain.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot to tie in. So this is again why I had to reorganize my notes to make sure I didn't fucking talk about pizza.
Right.
And immediately jump to the third game and then talk about the third game and then forget I didn't finish talking about the first game. Aye. It's a problem. It's a problem.
You got it fixed though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, I got my notes. But the next thing I wanted to talk about was, especially because when it comes to story and characters, I basically gave you almost everything there.
Okay.
Like that's mostly what all the, and I'm skimming, like there's some stuff obviously, but I'm trying to be able to talk about all the games.
Sorry.
So I'm cutting some stuff. Don't be. So the director for Devil May Cry 1 was Hideki Kamiya, and he was known for making Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's already, first game, he's already like a big name guy directing this. And you know, he definitely knows what he's doing. And the development team for this game is also called Little Devils, which I thought was cute. Yeah, it's just a fun little tidbit. So, Devil May Cry, aside from like the very vivid characters, the very strong, I don't want to say strong story. It's very identifiable story. Yeah, especially in the later ones. It's known 100% for its gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
It is a gamer's game. It is a game where...
It's game caviar.
Yeah, you literally... It's encouraged... It's developed to encourage you to get good. Like, the way it's designed is to make you want to grind, to make you want to get better, to make you want to, like, really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's why I was saying where it's, you get the most rewards if you, no joke, not to sound lame, but like practice and like continuously play it, like go back. It really is just one of those games, especially when it came to the first game. It was a lot of people's like first action game in general, and it was very
Oh, hello, friend.
Thank you, Dad.
Oh, it's Dad!
Yeah. He gave me a note.
Oh! They're going for a walk.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Oh, if you want anything from Tim Hortons or McDonald's, text me. Okay. At some point I will text my father.
Okay!
Yeah.
I mean, it only makes sense, right? Dante needs his food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not pizza, but it'll do.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it's, you know, it's sugar, it's grease, it's that delicious stuff.
It's something.
It's the delish.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? What was I talking about?
We were, yeah, you got it.
The gameplay.
Yes.
The gameplay. Yeah, it's especially when it comes to Devil May Cry 1, it was a lot of people, as they were a kid, it was like their first game like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know a lot of people who, like, are Devil May Cry fans who are super into video games, and Devil May Cry was the video game to get them, like, into video games. Like, not just, hey, I love playing video games, they're fun, to, like, the breaking down mechanics and, like, diving into it and, like, talking about timing and, like, frame rate and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Devil May Cry 1 wasn't that complicated, but it definitely was, like, it definitely started a spark there.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So I wrote down some, like, really big gameplay mechanics. I mentioned how it was very, like, this is when 3D games were, like, still kind of new and still kind of, like, finding itself. Devil May Cry just knew how to polish it, just knew how to make it feel good when you were like beating up demons and like really like going through the castle and progression, and like getting stronger, making you feel stronger. Let's see, there's so much here just in the gameplay section. This is Devil May Cry 1, which is like one of the most simple ones.
Right.
It's basically a game where you make combos. And the biggest thing when it comes to making combos and fighting is you got to make it stylish. And that's a huge thing. Like it's not just like, oh, ha, little fun tidbit. It's like you got to beat up demons and you got to look fucking rad doing it. Yeah. Yeah, you got to fucking demolish them in a super stylish, cool way. Like we don't want that pussy shit. Like we want you to fucking do splits from the air and impale one.
I just like that. I just think of like the Filthy Frank, like holding the two guns between the legs.
Yeah. In later cutscenes and later games, there's some of the it gets close to that. Yeah, so style is a huge thing, and so one of the big things with it is they have a style meter.
Oh.
So as you fight demons, suddenly you'll see a cool in the corner. It says cool and the C is like really big. And then as you fight demons and you keep going, suddenly a Bravo will show up. And the B is really big. And you notice as you go up and up, they're letter grades.
Yeah.
And the cooler you fight, like, the cooler you look fighting demons, the more and more that style rank goes up.
Okay.
Yeah, and the top one in Devil May Cry 1 is stylish. S for stylish.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Is there an A?
Yes, absolute.
Absolute.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's actually in each game I think they kind of change what the letters say. The letter grades are always the same, but like in Devil May Cry 1 it's absolute, and then like in another one it's like awesome.
Okay.
Or like something like that. So it's kind of shameful that I remember specifically the Devil May Cry.
Well, if it's a important part of the gameplay, it makes sense.
Oh yeah. And the cool thing too about like ranking, aside from again encouraging you to get better and do better and like, isn't that really nice? I think now in like the newer games too, like I rebought the HD collection for the PC.
Oh, okay.
Is when you get stylish, you get like an achievement for it. Yeah. So it's just cute little stuff like that.
Very cute. Styling.
Oh yeah. And the way the game's set up, and this is for all the games, is there's missions. So it's around like 20 to 25 missions each game. And after every mission, you get like a report card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's like how well you fought the demons, and all those letter grades get rounded up, and they matter at the end of every mission. And it's like if you used any items, or how much damage you took, your letter grade will go down a little, and like stuff like that. But yeah, so you can finish a mission and like you got an A. Yeah, it was just pretty fun. And again, it encourages you to be like, oh, I got an A, but I want an S.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Play
so I'm gonna do it again. Yeah.
Can you imagine finishing like a fight and getting a report card? Here you go.
Yeah,
This is how you did. You know what? We felt like your flips were good, but they were a little off-center. We gave you a 9.8 on those.
I actually, I don't get very good letter grades in Devil May Cry, and I feel like it would be worse in real life. So I don't want real life letter grades. No, thank you. Yeah. I'll keep it to Devil May Cry, please.
Well, I feel like the real life letter grade should be something for more like simple things. Like, did you eat today? S tier.
I can do that. I like that.
I ate. Yeah, I ate. I drank water. Did you drink at least 3 cups of water today? 3 glasses of water today?
I can't tell. Are you asking me directly? Because...
Drink water. Hey, chat, drink water. Drink water, everybody. Don't forget, stay hydrated. I have my whole mason jar I finished this morning.
Really reminded me to drink some more.
Hey! So Devil May Cry.
Yes. So let's see. We talked about.
Yes, thank you for the Be Gone bots in the chat, by the way.
Yeah. What's what?
Be gone, bots in the chat. We got bots in the chat.
Already?
Yeah, I know. But we got it, don't worry.
Okay. So we got the missions. Oh, there's one thing I should tell you. There's a dedicated taunt button.
I love that.
Dude, there's a dedicated taunt button, and it plays into also like your it plays in the stylish meter too. Like if you successfully taunt without getting hit and like stuff like that. Oh yeah. And it's literally like he's got his guns and he's just like doing this. It's so good. The taunts get so much better as the games go on too.
Mm-hmm.
Like once we get to the other games, I'll describe them because some of them are like my favorite.
Who do we got? Who do we got trying to get in on the show right now?
Who's in the show?
We got someone in the back. We got a friend squawking.
Oh, my birds.
Your bird. What are their names?
Pika and Mr. Bird, and they're both girls.
Pika and Mr. Wow.
Mr. Bird I got from a 7-year-old that didn't know it was a girl, and then she started masturbating.
Not the little girl, the bird, right?
The bird.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that clarification. Yeah, the bird started masturbating in a way only girls do, so that's how I found out he was a she. It's nice though, because I can put them together even though they hate each other.
So we got Pika and Mr. Bird. What's the story of Pika's name?
Pika just has like I forget what the coloring is. They're two cockatiels, but she's like white with like some yellow coloring.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like Lucina.
Like from Smash Bros?
Yeah, there's like some fancy, there's some fancy like name for it. But yeah, she's kind of yellow and she's got the orange cheeks.
Oh.
You know, I got her on Valentine's Day.
Very cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't let them out because I didn't want them to poop on my really cheap wig. So, I'm sorry everybody if you wanted to see the birds. Maybe at some point I'll take the wig off. But I'm Dante.
You're Dante. You're Dante today.
Dante. We'll talk about it. We'll think about it. Maybe
okay.
At some point I get tired. This wig is really itchy.
But speaking of Dante, from the Devil May Cry series.
Let's see. Where'd you go? Okay. So, another thing, I'll also mostly talk extensively about 1, because this is me really establishing like all the stuff that comes with Devil May Cry. So as I get to the other games, like, it won't be this intricate when I go through it. Yeah, I promise. So another big staple when it comes to Devil May Cry are red orbs. They're like these little jelly bean looking things. And you get like a few, like the green orbs are like health. There's like other items like Devil Star, which I'll explain in a second. But the big one is red orbs. And you can find them on the ground, or they're rewarded to you as you defeat demons, and the better your letter grade is, like at the end of a mission, you get more red orbs.
Okay.
And they're kind of a currency. It's basically money. And when I mentioned earlier about how the game's really short, but it encourages you to like play multiple times, one cool thing that I think it does is you basically have not a lot of moves when you start out. You get red orbs, you start buying moves, you start buying techniques, you start buying abilities, and they get really expensive. Like you really have to like grind and get like a whole bunch of orbs to get some of them.
Right.
And in one playthrough, it's almost impossible for you to buy all of the techniques.
Right.
And all the moves and stuff like that. So that's another thing that really gets you like wanting to like, oh, I got this really cool thing where I can like shoot lightning, but I finished the game, and I know there's like 2 more upgrades to it. I'm gonna play again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's like a cycle too, where it's like the better you do with your letter grades, the more orbs you get, the more orbs you get, the more moves you can buy, the more moves you can buy, the better you can like uphold that stylish rank.
Oh yeah. My God.
And it just keeps going. Yeah.
It's addiction.
It for real. Also, like I said, it encourages you. It rewards you the better you play the game.
Mm-hmm.
You get more from playing better, which is embarrassing how bad I play the game. Oh, but boy, do I try. Boy, do I try.
Oh my God, does she try?
And aside from like the red orbs and stuff, like I said, there's other like items and stuff, but that's the most important. I mentioned the Devil Star. The Devil Star actually ties into your Devil Trigger. Now earlier I mentioned Dante wasn't human.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we established that he had a human mother that looks like Trish. So who's his dad? It was pretty interesting that it did that whole gigantic opening about the legendary Dark Knight Sparta, huh?
Is that his dad? Is it Spartacus?
Oh yeah. Spartacus is his father. And he states it later in the game. Like, he'll say it, like, out of nowhere. Like, I think, one of the bosses, you just defeat a boss. And the boss kind of, like, squints at Dante, and he's like, wait, no. Are you Sparta? And Dante's like, nah, I'm his son. It's like, that's how you officially find out Dante is, the legendary Dark Knight's son.
And I think in this, if I'm not mistaken, in the same breath, and he says, what are we? Some kind of devil may cry?
You were technically correct. You were technically, yeah. It happens in another game.
Oh.
Kinda, sorta. We'll get there. Once again, we'll get there.
We're all just devil may cry.
We're all just devil may cry. I hate that you said that. For chat and anyone watching too, my friends know this, but I also have a disgusting issue with them doing anything and me immediately being reminded of something from Devil May Cry. So, oops. But, so Dante isn't human.
Right.
Half devil, half human, and with that
Human.
he gets
Huval.
Huval. He's a Huval, and he gets a devil trigger, which is a game mechanic which basically you turn into your devil form.
Ooh.
You're stronger, faster, you're more resistant to attacks. And there's also separate moves you can buy for your devil trigger. I think when it comes to the first game, there's not really too much to say about the devil trigger.
Right.
Like, in and of itself, the mechanic is pretty simple. You know, when you need it in a battle, like, you can use it strategically during battles, but like the mechanic itself is like you turn your devil trigger on and like, oh yeah, there you go.
Bam, blah, blah.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom.
Bow, bow, bow. Come on, come get me.
Yeah, come on, come get me. And it's interesting to see too how like it legit was just this, and in later games it gets insane. It like there's like too much going on with it. Yeah, but once again, we'll get there. I'm sorry I sound like a broken record, but this is why I need
We'll get to it.
notes.
We'll get to it.
So let's see. Very much like another thing about the mechanics were the delayed input combos. So this is a thing that really wasn't a thing in gameplay at the time. And this is why Devil May Cry was very interesting at its time. Say, I told you about the combos and like how combos are very like important. So say I press the button for my sword 4 times.
Yeah.
That's a combo. But the game does not teach you. It does not tell you about this. But if you press this button for the sword 2 times, pause. And 2 times again, it's a completely different combo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's something where, again, if you're a kid and you're playing Devil May Cry and you're just this cool dude, he's got guns and swords and a demon everywhere, and if you're just you're just going nuts and you're trying to get that style meter higher, and you just kind of like flub that one combo, but then you did something completely different.
Right.
And you have no idea how you did it. And you freak out and you're like, holy shit, that was so cool. Like, how the hell? And then you get super into it, try to defeat more demons, try to like recreate that whole thing, and you figure it out yourself. Yeah,
Damn.
and that was one cool thing about the first game, yeah. Where, again, when you're a kid and you get super into it, like, it's super rewarding. Like, you found that out. You did it. And now that's a whole new combo to put into your moveset.
Yeah.
To, again, rank up that style meter.
And then, like, 20 years later, you buy a Dante wig and talk about it.
Yeah.
You buy a Dante wig and talk about it exceptionally well. Exceptionally well.
I'll take the compliment. You know, I'll just take it.
I'm not handing out much more.
I'm controlling myself right now. I'm like really trying to keep myself on like the tracks. Mm-hmm. So we're almost done with Devil May Cry 1. The last couple of things I wanted to share were weapons, bosses, and then some Dante quotes.
Okay.
So, when it comes to weapons, another thing that just made it cool is that, like, as you progress through the game, you get more weapons.
Right.
Dante starts out with, and it's iconic for him to have a big-ass sword and his 2 pistols. In this game, it's Force Edge, and then Ebony and Ivory. Which you can tell because one pistol's black, one pistol's, like, silver. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually like a whole story behind Ebony and Ivory and stuff like that, which I won't get into. It's all the extra
You have
stuff.
to look that up yourself.
Oh yeah. So throughout the game, you pick up another sword. It's imbued with lightning. It's called Alistair. It's extra fast, extra cool. You pick up gauntlets called Ifrit. And the moves are very slow, very delayed moveset, but it's super powerful. Mm-hmm. Like if I uppercut a demon, like they're fucking flying. Like bye. Yeah. And then there's it's a gun called Nightmare Beta.
Nice.
I don't really know how to describe this gun. It's kind of like mounted on your arm, and it's like a laser gun, but the lasers also bounce off of walls. Dude, I don't know. It was pretty rad, though. It got me through the last boss, so I like it. So it helped.
Everybody loves ricocheting lasers.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty cool. And then we got the shotgun. We got a grenade gun. And then we got the needle gun, which you could only use in this first-person underwater level that came out of nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah. It legit, like, you're Dante, you're running around, and this is where you kind of first see the pirate ship, and then, like, the only way to go is to jump into water, and you jump, and the second you get into water, it's first person, and you're swimming.
Every game needs that water level.
I guess.
Every game needs that one water level.
Yeah, no one knows why they did it. It doesn't really add anything to the game. Nobody likes it. But there's a water level.
I bet it was just like everyone has every game at the time had a water level, and like,
yeah,
first person, why not?
Dude, yeah, like it was really jarring the first time it happened. I was like, excuse me. But it's also Devil May Cry, so once you get used to Devil May Cry, when weird shit like that happens, you're just kind of like, all right,
this is normal.
Yeah. What did I expect? So. So getting a whole bunch of weapons is also like a big staple of the game. Those are pretty much all the weapons you'll get. Force Edge, the sword you started out with, turns into the sword Sparta. And it was a sword used by Sparta. Okay. So Sparta, Dante's dad, also had the legendary sword Sparta. Does that make sense?
So if I had a sword named Corey.
Yeah. The legendary.
Sword Corey. Yeah. It's me, King Excalibur, and my legendary sword, Excalibur.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, later in the game you find out it's your dad's sword. and then it's
Whoa.
like a sword that like whips out into a scythe.
Whoa.
Or also into a spear. Yeah, it's really crazy. There's like some really exaggerated cutscene over it. But yeah.
Can mow my lawn with this scythe.
So that's a sword that will be in every game since this one. It's a big deal. It's really important. All that fun stuff. Now when it comes to bosses, there's actually not a lot of bosses. One clever thing they did with this game, and it's like clever and also like probably like budget reasons, because Devil May Cry, the first game didn't get like a whole bunch of money.
Okay.
They didn't have like a crazy big budget. So you get like 4 bosses, but you fight each one like 3 times.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a rule of 3. The first one you fight is Phantom, and to be honest, the one I hate the most, he's the most annoying for me. He's like this giant rock lava spider / scorpion. That's all you need to know. Why is he called Phantom? I don't know.
'Cause it's cool.
Yeah, 'cause it's cool. And you fight him like 3 times. There's like some hallways where like you've been through before. You walk through because the castle, you kind of like bounce back and forth, unlock new rooms, like I said, to go to different areas. So there's this hallway that you've like been, but you've been in there before, and all of a sudden like Phantom like shows up after the first time you kill him, so you think he's gone,
Yeah.
and he starts chasing after you, and you're like, the fuck. Like, you can either like run and like go into another room and it's over, or you can fight him then and there. Yeah, but like that, the hallway thing happens twice with him, and I think aside from that you fight him like 2 more times, so I guess that's technically 3 or whatever. But like these bosses just don't die. They show up like a whole bunch of times. Then there's Griffin, Big Bird. Big Bird. Love with Griffin McElroy. Lightning powers. Yeah. Like huge bird, like he's gigantic. Then there's Nightmare. And Nightmare is just kind of like this big mush thing. Yeah. He's kind of like this mush thing, and he shoots a laser at you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, lasers.
Dude, I love him, but he is weird to look at. Like, it really freaks me out. It's in the first game, like, you can't really tell what's going on with him. It's then there's Shadow, and it's like this black shadowy panther that can like, it like melds into the ground like a shadow.
Woo.
And then it's almost like it can form itself into like spikes to like impale you with.
Okay.
Or like it'll like jump in the air and turn its body into like some kind of like rotary blade and like go after you and like stuff like that. There's all strategies to all these bosses. I'm not gonna get into it, so like I'm trying to keep it short. Then there's a giant knight named Nello Angelo, and he is probably the most important boss in this whole game, and that's including Mundus, like the final boss. And the one, like, I remember how I told you that I told you most of the story?
Yeah.
But not all of it. So the last little bit is that throughout this whole game, you fight Nello Angelo. He just shows up one time, he challenges you. And he shows he has, like, intelligence. Like, you meet him in a room, and he kind of, like, nods his head for you guys to fight outside. So this is, like, an intelligent, like, kind of demon. And you fight him 3 times. Obviously, with all the bosses, like, every time you fight them, they have, like, more moves, they're stronger and stuff like that to keep them interesting and stuff like that. But right after, every time you fight Nello Angelo, he shows, there's, like, a little cutscene that, like, shows that something else is going on. The first time you beat him, he actually, there's, like, a cutscene death, almost, where it's, like, when you, like, you beat a boss, but then the cutscene happens, and the boss, like, beats you instead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so he's got Dante by the throat, and Dante has this amulet. Like,
My roommate's making a little cameo.
Oh yeah, always. Can't say hi.
No.
No.
He's streaming.
But he his amulet like shows up, and then Nello Angelo like sees it, and he kind of like does like this, and then like runs off. yeah, like
I left my oven on.
Yeah. So you're like, there's something funky going on with that guy.
Right.
And you beat him 3 times. The last time you fight him, he has like this whole obviously like demonic armor on. The last time you beat him, his helmet's off. And it's kind of like this dude with white slicked back hair.
Right.
And you're like, oh, so he's like just a big human or whatever.
Right.
You beat him, and then when you defeat him, an identical amulet drops. Like it looks just like Dante's amulet, except Dante's is silver and his is gold. And you hear like this it's looking at Dante, and you hear these voices. And I think it's Dante's mother saying like, "Happy birthday, Dante and Virgil," like stuff like that. Like yeah. And that's when you really find out like, oh shit, like Dante thought his brother was dead this whole time. That was Virgil. Yeah. And
Mundo?
Yeah, Mundus. It's
Mundus.
very obvious that Mundus controlled Virgil.
Okay.
Yeah, so Virgil was a slave to Mundus, the man who killed their mom.
Oh.
So like, oh shit, yeah, it's like pretty crazy at that time too, when you're like in it, and like again, like he's like one of the biggest challenges you have in that game.
Yeah.
So like that boss is like a very big focal point, like amongst all the other bosses, he stands out.
Right.
Not only with his moveset, character design, blah blah blah, but obviously there's something else going on with him. So you're focused on that the whole time, and then you're like a kid, and you're like, what? You're like, what the fuck, dude? And I think there's a cutscene too that goes to Mundus. He's talking to Trish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's like, Trish, Virgil failed. It's your time to take care of Dante. And that's when you found out Trish was actually working against you, and she lured you to the island. So Mundus can finally get rid of the last line of Sparta.
Right.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Oh.
She failed.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Mundus failed.
Mundus failed. The one thing I should mention too that I think I didn't really specify is that Sparta disappeared.
Okay.
Like there was a time where he was in the family with Dante and Virgil and Eva,
Mm-hmm.
but like there was one day where he just was gone.
Right.
And to this day, no joke, we don't know anything. Like they haven't said anything that happened to him.
Huh.
Like, and this isn't one of those moments where like we'll get to it. Like legit, no, he's gone.
We haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, he's somewhere. Maybe he's dead. Who knows? But yeah, so that's why Sparta's out of the picture after all of this. Yeah. So you find out Trish is working against you. There's a little cutscene where like Trish reveals herself, and you know there's this whole fight, and you beat her, and there's a rock. After you beat her, there's a rock from the ceiling that breaks off, and it's ready to like crush her. And Dante like pushes her out of the way and saves her. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, why did you save me? You know, I tried to kill you." And he's like, "You look like my mom." And right after, that's when you go to Mundus and you get ready to defeat him. There's also like there's a little bit in between, of course, of you traveling there. Trish is there, and she's like strung up like a damsel in distress. But if you look closely, like the cuffs on her wrist are like open. So she's like hanging from the wall with like nothing holding her there. That's a thing. It's just a thing.
She just want to be there.
Oh my god. There's a lot of I love Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Then there's a moment where Mundus goes to strike Dante down. This is where Trish pushes him out of the way. She gets struck.
Oh
No.
no.
She falls limp on the ground. This is where the famous I'll say this is the most famous quote from Devil May Cry. I'll save it until I say quotes.
Okay.
But you'll love it. Because basically then it's you follow Mundus, and you defeat him, and then you find out Trish is alive, and then Mundus comes back as a spaghetti monster. And then
like the religion, flying spaghetti monster.
Exactly. Just like that. And then you defeat him again, and then you ride off the island on an airplane. The end.
What a game.
Oh yeah. So it's like I said, like there's not really anything like super crazy and intricate with the story. It's very cut and dry. It's very 2001 or whatever. But it's really like the gameplay and like the designs of everything that really hook you into the first one, because it really was something like nothing was really there that was like Devil May Cry at its time.
Right.
Yeah. And even if you don't like Devil May Cry, you have to admit it's one of those video games that like it's in history for influencing other video games.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Because it is like the first really like established action character game ever. And like a lot of games that came after it, like you can see really heavy Devil May Cry.
It's just funny because Devil May Cry is like wholly influenced by Resident Evil.
Oh yeah. There's a whole bunch. It's very bizarre once you kind of like connect all the dots to see like how it pans out. So for the last bit of Devil May Cry 1, I will read off some of my favorite quotes.
Here we go.
Flock off, Featherface, or you can stick around and find out the hard way.
I get it, because birds.
Yeah, it's when you're fighting Griffin.
You should have said that to your. You should have said that to your birds.
Should I?
Yeah.
They hate me enough.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do it.
Just say flock off, Featherface.
Are they sleeping? Hey! 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 Hi! Hey! You paying attention? Hey! Flock off, Featherface! I got none.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you try. They know it. They didn't say anything, but they feel it.
I think she's mad.
You better not.
I think it's mad because I woke her up from her nap.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then immediately.
Yeah, she'll poop in my hair later. I don't know. That's how she usually gets mad at me. Or tells me how she's mad. Okay, what are some other good quotes? Oh, from the cutscene I was telling you earlier.
Yes.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light. Yep.
Dark Souls inside me?
And the last quote is yeehaw.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeehaw!
There's lots of really good ones. Devil May Cry is not known for its voice acting. They get better from 3 on, but from here it is like I highly suggest you look up the I should have filled your dark soul with light. Because me reading it off does not give it justice. It does not. Yeah.
Oh,
I will post.
I should
I will
have
force
filled
you
your
to
dark soul with light.
And
it just
yells
gets
it.
worse the more I think about it.
He yells it. And his
I
voice
should have
cracks.
filled your dark soul with light.
Yeah, and the camera pans up to the ceiling, and there's dramatic music. So the big thing when it comes to this game, it's a theme with all the games really, is Trish. She was a devil made by Mundus to take care of Dante, to get rid of him and stuff like that. So she was made a demon. She is a demon. But at the end, there's a point where she cries. You know, she obviously saved Dante. She asks him, why would you save a devil like me? I tried to kill you and stuff like that. and he wipes away her tear and says, "Trish, devils don't cry." It ties into the title, but also overall, like, the theme of, like, the it's not exactly super well executed, but it's like, oh, like, it's all about heart and, like, caring and, like, all that fun stuff.
Heart.
Oh yeah. Another theme that you'll notice with Devil May Cry, is it was a game really heavily, like, how do I say it? It's like, look, you can look cool without, like, having smoking or swearing.
Oh,
in
yeah.
your games. Yeah. So there's, like, a lot of, like, influences where you can see where they're, like, they avoid all of those really, like, edgy tropes, but, like, while still being edgy. Yeah. So even with all, like, the demons and stuff, it's supposed to be, like, a really wholesome message. It's about the devils we made cry along the way.
That's good.
It's a good one. I mean, hey. You know, I got nothing to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, that's a dumb joke. I'm gonna make a few of those here.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, it's again, like I said, one of those Devil May Cry, really... It's a game. Like, it's a game that, like,
it's a game!
Itself.
You got it, folks, that's it, it's a game!
It's a video game.
It's a game.
It established itself in, like, history. Like, it really influenced other games, all that stuff. And, it's funny to think about that because it's also a really dumb game. Yeah. And I say that extremely affectionately. Because the gameplay was really, like, the star achievement. In the style, not just in the gameplay, I mean, but, like I said, with, like, the character design and just, like, the way the monsters are and the bosses and stuff like that. The style and the gameplay are really what made it, like, a big deal. Everything else is silly dumb. dumb.
All silly's dumbs.
Oh, super silly dumb. I condensed a lot, and I just noticed we've been talking for an hour.
Yeah, that was Devil May Cry, the first game, in an hour and 8 minutes.
I'm sorry. See, I knew this was gonna happen, and like I said, I condensed my notes.
Right.
Condensed them. So, well, I will, like I said, establishing the whole game in the series.
Yeah, we got, like, a little bit more time, so.
Picture. Yeah. So, the first game was really the one where I really had to, like, talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because everything else, I basically explained, and I will kind of expand. So, if that helps, if that, like, so no one panics that I'm gonna, like, make you sit here for 4 more hours.
As long as it's not 4.
This was my plan all along, to, like, corner you and, like, force you to talk to me about Devil May Cry. We all knew this was gonna happen.
Alright, I got over it.
Okay. Alright. So, tell me how you feel about the first game real quick, as I text my dad what I want from Tim Hortons.
Well, the first game I haven't played, and I could just imagine, like, the great graphics of, like, the early 2000s games. But it seems like a goofy ass game that I should try and play. I like it sounds like, because you got the early audience, you got, like, the whole, like, I'm so cool and I know it movies, and it seems like Devil May Cry is just the whole I'm so cool and I know it video game, but, like, also kind of making fun of the I'm so cool and I know it movies. Like,
absolutely.
That sounds like I love sarcasm, and it sounds like just sarcasm the game.
It's actually... Oh, keep going.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like something I'd love to play.
It's, it's fun you say that, because in the first couple games, it actually was not like that at all.
Really?
From mostly 3 on, it knew. But from 1 and 2, it did not.
It was taking itself seriously?
it was like, no, we're really doing this, yeah. But like I said, it's when it comes to Devil May Cry, they really know how to take what they have and take what they've done and like morph it into something better or more complex or like I said, like, oh, look at all this silly stuff. That was kind of silly. Well, we can't take it away, so let's like make it a joke.
Right.
Yeah. So like everything that happened in the first game, I they were pretty serious. I mean, they were still trying to have fun with it, you know? It's not like they were sitting there just like, oh, this is super serious, like, amount of time. But I think they were like, this is cool. Like, we're making it really cool. And that's one that I heard someone say it before, but Devil May Cry isn't cool. It's like wacky cool.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very... It's not like super like awesome and crazy. It's silly awesome.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel like a lot of like high level, high energy action movies fit that same description. Like the kind of silly crazy. Like after a point, like you get movies like, well, I guess like I was gonna say like Hard Boiled takes itself so seriously though, and it's actually like in a good way takes itself super seriously, as such like a heavy action movie. But I guess like some of the Marvel if you look at Marvel movies, superhero movies, they take themselves seriously, but at the same time like Marvel's silly. Marvel enjoys being funny and like comedic.
Oh yeah.
Like if we look at Ragnarok, like the whole Ragnarok movie was like just super actiony and great, but like at the same time just Thor being like, oh yeah, he's my work buddy, like we work together.
Devil May Cry like really gets into that like more, especially like I said in the later games where like they knew what they were doing.
Right.
They knew what they were doing. They refined it as they went on. So I'm glad this actually made you think about playing the first game. It's good. It's super good. Oh, also, just random context for everybody. Corey, you were there, so you know. Lately, I replayed Devil May Cry, the first one, and everyone experienced me taking 4 days to defeat the Sin Scissors, which is a normal enemy in the game. Not even a boss. So
sometimes you just need. Sometimes there's an enemy that's just for you. It's not for Dante. It's for Moe.
Fuck that guy. I'll never forgive him. But saying that is actually a good transition into the second game, because with Devil May Cry's challenges, it influenced how the second one turned out. So I'm gonna try to make this super quick because we still have like 5 games. So Devil May Cry 2, if no one knows, it's the least loved Devil May Cry game next to the reboot.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of controversy, there's lots of stuff talked about with it. It's not very well liked. So right off the bat, the dev team from 1 with Hideki Kamiya and the Little Devils were not brought on board.
Oh.
Completely different new team. And from what I could gather, this new team was basically... their experience in making video games was still with 2D video games.
Oh.
So I think that also probably like rolled into like how everything like went down.
Yeah.
So they gave a survey to players after Devil May Cry 1, and there was a lot of players who said Devil May Cry 1 was hard. So do you know what they did for Devil May Cry 2?
They made it easy.
Too easy. Boringly easy. Disgustingly
Cheesy.
gross baby doo-doo easy. And when I say that, I'm talking about like the AI. There's videos you can find on YouTube of people literally standing there doing nothing. Dante's doing nothing. The enemies are just like lumbering around him.
Ugh.
One might swing. Yeah, they miss it.
Ugh.
You could like maybe sidestep one way. Yep. Yeah, that's perfect reaction. This is perfect. Looks just like him. It's like, it's not just like, oh, oh, it's not as hard. It's like pathetically hard. And like I tell you guys about how like I love the games, but I'm very bad at the games.
Right.
So you think I would like this easier game? It's disgustingly easy for me.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't want to say pathetic. It's pathetic.
It's
really,
pathetic.
Really yeah, it's really bad. It's the combat's boring. They took out like the delayed combos I was talking about, which made combat like really interesting. Really large empty areas, like with nothing in it.
Oh.
Just nothing. Yeah, so it's not even just like, oh, this is a big area. It's just like there's nothing there. You can't purchase or learn new techniques. They gave you like a Majin demon form, which was kind of like an upgraded devil trigger. So that was a thing. Oh, they added a dedicated dodge button, which wasn't in the first game. Yeah, there's a way you can kind of like jump and roll to the side, but in the first game, the controls were kind of funky, so sometimes you wouldn't like dodge the way you wanted to, and you still got hit. That and the camera angles, honestly, when it came to the first game, are the only real complaints I have with the combat. So I mean, it's nice that they added a dodge button.
Yeah.
So I guess that's cool. The last 6 months of development, they brought in Hideki Itsuno to fix things. So that's how bad it was going. Yeah. And Hideki Itsuno, does this have... Oh, I wrote it down somewhere, and there's so many notes. Hideki Itsuno is... he has lots of experience with fighter games. Like, he's worked on some Street Fighter games and stuff like that, Darkstalkers. So he definitely was another big name guy from Capcom to come help. So yeah, the guy who directed before Itsuno, we don't know his name. They never released his name. So I don't know if that was to protect him or just to like pretend they didn't know him or whatever. But that happened. So oof. Yeah, so Hideki Itsuno came in to just kind of like try to polish it off. That's pretty much all with the game. Like the story, if you never play 2, you won't miss anything. You won't miss anything. The story is mostly centered around a new character named Lucia, and she's dark-skinned, red hair. She's got not my words, someone else said like a Renaissance-y ninja outfit on. I don't really know how to describe her outfit, but just to give you an idea, she's kind of soft-spoken, quiet, reserved, a little serious. She's kind and empathetic and stuff like that. She's just very like demure, I guess. The story is she asks Dante for help. There's a evil businessman magician, I think that's what they called him, named Arius, who's trying to resurrect the demon Argo-Sax. See, can you see I'm looking at my notes because I don't remember any of this. Argo-Sax, so he can gain eternal power in life. There's some way throughout the game. It's mostly centered around Lucia. You could take Dante out of it and almost nothing changes.
Right.
So, she's trying to stop him. At some point, she finds out she was a demon made by Arius, and her whole character was like her being scared that she would one day turn on humans. And that's where Dante also brings in, she cries, and Dante's like, oh, devils never cry, which shows she has a heart, she cares, and like all that stuff.
Devils
I
may
literally
cry.
told you the whole game. Yeah, that's the whole game. That's it. That's all there is. I could go into Dante's not the wisecracker anymore. He's like really serious. He's like a very like silent type of hero.
Yeah.
So obviously that was a very weird point because people really were attracted to his character, and he didn't have a character anymore.
People were really attracted to him.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's one thing I won't deny. Like there was a lot of people who probably played the game because Dante was interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. The Lucia also has a devil trigger.
Oh,
and
okay.
when she has a devil trigger, she turns into like this white feathered, almost angel looking creature.
Right.
Which I'm mostly mentioning for design points later in the game. And then they partnered with Diesel Clothing. So you can unlock outfits that are really bad and they look really terrible. Like Dante has like what is it? One of those paisley looking squares that you can tie. He's got it like tied around his neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, they're like extra costumes and no one wants them. And I literally, yep, that's it. Oh, I think Dante has this weird, like, he like does a whole bunch of coin flips in that game, but then you find out the coin has the same side. It's two of the same thing. Yeah. Which honestly adds nothing to the game. It literally gives nothing. So that was 2. How do you feel?
It's what it is.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, no one liked it. It was bad. It sold really well, though. Mostly because people were excited because of the first game.
Right.
So they were like, oh, I want the second game. But the good news is because of that, they had the money to go straight into 3. Which is arguably, for a lot of people, like one of the greatest games of all time.
Right.
And again, it's one of those 2 where, like, you know, this game has a lot of attachment. Like, it's very easy to play this game, like, when you were a kid and just to, like, remember it as, like, that was your game, like, that was your favorite game and stuff like that. But it also, like with the first game, it influenced a lot of games after it. Like, it is, like, a game, like, that will go down in history, like, really important, big deal, all that stuff. So, Hideki Itsuno is back, the director that came in real quick from the second game, and he directed the whole game. And like I said, he had a whole bunch of fighting game experience. And when it comes to fighting games, very intricate fighting mechanics are a thing.
Yes.
So all that cool bit of stuff from the first game got a hell of a lot more intense in this game. So if you thought the gameplay was cool, it's going to be even fucking crazier in this one. It's just nuts. It gets really deep. And from now on, every game we add on, the gameplay gets more and more intricate. Mm-hmm. Like, to the point where, like, there's no way I'm going to be able to, like, get into it. Like, I'll explain enough to, like, describe to you how intricate it is.
Right.
But, like, that's basically, yeah, I'm gonna do you a favor, I'm not gonna get into it. The mechanics just got way deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So Dante, the story actually goes back in time. It's called Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening.
Okay.
And this is where you get, like, the iconic, Dante makes a lot of other cameos in other games, and usually the Dante they use is this Devil May Cry 3 Dante, where he's got his big, like, red coat, and then no shirt.
This guy right here. Oh, no shirt. So not this guy.
No shirt. Yeah, no, that's 5.
That's 5. Okay,
that's 5. This one is the one we get, like, an official age for Dante. There's more, like, you can get kind of an idea of how old he is in, like, other ones. This one, he is 19. He is 19 in this game, so he's like a young, brash, arrogant kid. His attitude is back. So he's, like, snarky, he's got, like, those one-liners. But you can also tell he's got like that irrational youth to him, too.
Hmm.
And so, he's got his devil hunting business, and the game starts out as Dante. He has the building. He didn't even open up his shop yet. And this is the cutscene that I was talking about when you were like, "Oh, I watched a cutscene and I freaked out," because this is literally not gonna get. This is best cutscene opening in a video game ever. So, this bald, very evil-looking man shows up at Dante's shop. Yeah, Dante literally comes out of the shower. That's why when you said shirtless thing, I was like, "Oh, that's just shirtless." And he kicks his feet up at his desk and he starts eating pizza. And this is where the pizza thing came from. Yeah, this is where the pizza thing came from. Legit, pizza wasn't ever in any other game. Yeah, and it's just now a Devil May Cry staple. You will, from now on, you will see them eating pizza all the time.
Right.
Yeah. And this man introduces himself as Arkham, and he definitely throws some, like, he's very threatening. He doesn't outright threaten Dante, but it's very clear that he's, like, you know, he's not there for a good time. Like, he's like, and Dante tells him to fuck off. He's eating his pizza, and then demons show up, and all of them impale Dante at once. Impaling Dante, I think I mentioned this, also just a theme. It shows up all the time. He just gets stabbed a lot.
Poor guy.
Yeah, and he gets up with, he got stabbed with scythes. He gets up, still run through with scythes. He walks over to his jukebox, like dragging the demons, holding onto their scythes all the way, and he tries turning on his jukebox, and it doesn't turn on. So he, like, punches it, the music turns on, and, you know, it's this upbeat rock track, and then he just starts beating the shit out of these demons. And, like, bitch slaps them, and, like, lots of wacky stuff happens. Like, he kicks the pool table, so, a lot of the, dumb that I don't know the word for the balls. What are they?
The pool balls?
Is that it?
The cue balls? Well, there's the cue ball, and then there's the white ball, and then the rest of them are just the pool balls.
The pool balls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he shoots one, and, you know, they ricochet off each other, and they hit the demons, and, like, stuff like that. So, and that's basically how the fight scene goes. It's just, like, these really wacky, over-the-top stuff. It's very exciting, very crazy. And then you're playing the game.
Oh, billiards ball. Are you thinking of, like, billiards? Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, either way. They ricochet.
Yeah, they ricochet and stuff like that. I'm not going to describe the whole scene to you. I'm just trying to, like, like, it's, like, nuts. The action's over the top. It's very exaggerated. He, like, uses one demon to, like, he's, like, skateboarding on it, and he's twisting around shooting them all. And it really sets the tone for the game. And immediately right after that, you're playing. Like, there's no pretense or anything, whatever. Like, the game literally you're, like, 2 to 5 minutes in, and you're playing. And from when it came to, the first game was hard, the second game was easy, the third game is harder. Harder than any of the other games. There was also a thing where the initial release of the American version of Devil May Cry, the normal game was actually hard mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had to fix it. They had to fix it, like, a year later, like, was it Definitive Edition? Special Edition came out, and they had to fix it, so it was like, the normal mode was normal, and then hard was hard.
Right. Dang.
But it's a very difficult game.
Forcing their fans to play hard.
Yeah, for real, they did not pull any fucking... 3 is probably the hardest game out of all of them. And I'm counting specifically with the version that came out originally. Like, I think they, with the special release, they fixed a little, but God, I'm trying so hard just to, like, get...
I mean, we do need to wrap it up a little bit.
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we're only on 3. I'm so sorry. I can finish 3, and we don't have to do the rest of them. If you
Okay,
want.
that works for me.
Yeah. So when it comes to 3, like I said, the mechanic got way more complicated. and it got really intense. So one thing they added were specific styles. There was Trickster, Swordmaster, Royal Guard, and Gunslinger. And these are specific ways to play. Basically, there's a button for your guns, there's a button for your sword, and there's a button for your style.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what style you pick, depends on what that button does. So Trickster is like you're dodging, you're bobbing and weaving, you're extra fast. You get more movement like double jumps and stuff like that. Swordmaster, you get fancier moves with your swords or whatever like your devil arm weapon is. Gunslinger, you get fancier moves with your guns. And then there's Royal Guard, which is like the defense kind of fighting style. And if you wait till the right time and defend, there's like a meter that fills up. If you do it enough time, then it will build up like all that energy or whatever, and then you can hit that person back and annihilate them. Yeah, just straight up. And Royal Guard is actually nuts because it gets more. They tweak it more as the games go on, and it gets fucking bonkers. Anything else important? Oh god, I'm really trying to run through these. You also later in the game you get Quicksilver and Doppelganger. Doppelganger, you get another Dante to help you fight. Quicksilver, you kind of like stop time for a second.
Ooh. Yeah.
But these also, they feed off your devil trigger gauge. So they kind of work slightly different than that. Not the original 4, just these 2. And the more you use these fighting styles, the more you level up. Like if you use Trickster, you can level up Trickster. And there's obvious, with the red orbs and the buying moves, you can buy moves in each one. So you choose a style, and you can have 2 guns at one time, and then 2 devil arms at one time, and you can change them between missions. So in between missions is where you can be like, I want to be Trickster this time and get all these weapons and stuff like that. That's another thing to note, that say if I have Swordmaster on and I have Rebellion, I'll do a different move with him than I would do with another weapon.
Interesting.
Which again, I'm elaborating because that's how complex it is. Like you have like a shit ton of options. And 4 gets even more complicated. Devil May Cry 4, it gets even more complicated. And then 5 got insane because you can have all your weapons at once.
Huh.
Anyway, yeah. And this also brought on the staple of when you defeat a boss, you get a weapon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Like the first boss in the game, his name's Cerberus. You defeat Cerberus, and you get like a nunchuck weapon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's called Cerberus. Yeah, it's technically like the demon. That's legit. There's cutscenes of Dante doing that. Like immediately after he gets it, there's this whole sequence of him like doing crazy shit. So this one you're gonna really like is because the rule of 3 is back. You know, with a lot of the way you fight things and stuff like that. This series gave it heart. It really emphasizes the red Oni, blue Oni trope. And it has the hero's journey in it. You know you love the hero's journey.
I got a tattoo for it.
Oh, yeah! So you know.
My hero's journey tattoo.
Can you see it? Oh, I see it. Beautiful. So. Characters. Dante. Young shit.
19.
This is where you meet Virgil, his twin brother, because this is before 1.
Also 19.
Also 19, yes. Which, you notice, what I said in the first game, Dante thought Virgil was dead.
Right.
In here, it says that Dante, like, knew... There's, like, a weird point where he thought he was dead, then knew he was alive, and by the end of this game, he thought he was dead again. It's just, like, a weird thing. So, this is where you meet Virgil, which I'll elaborate a little bit later. Right. You meet Lady, Arkham, and Jester. So, Lady... I'll actually introduce him as I talk about the story. So, Arkham shows up. He does that whole thing with Dante. Dante fights the demons. He leaves his shop, and then a giant tower erects in the city of Redgrave, which is where Dante lives. And Dante can sense that Virgil is at the top of that tower.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff that happened was basically Dante now knows was Virgil trying to be like, yo, come get me.
Okay.
Yeah, like, fuck him. And this is where you really get, like, their character dynamic, which they're just antagonistic towards each other. They do nothing but fight. They're the red Oni, blue Oni trope, which is no one knows. If no one knows, it's the very, like, one's calm, cool, collected. The other one's, like, hot-headed.
Right.
Yeah, they're polar opposite. They're foils to each other, which is interesting. Hi, Dad.
Oh, hey! Hi, Mo's dad!
Hi. How you doing?
Doing good.
I'm forcing them to talk to me longer than they're supposed to talk to me.
She is.
I don't want to interrupt.
I'm trying really hard.
Oh, shit, what up?
I told him I was ruining everything. He's like, all right.
Mo's dad, everybody.
Yeah. So, I'm really trying to condense it. So, red Oni, blue Oni, they're polar opposite. It's a big deal. Dante has a big giant sword and guns. Virgil refuses to use guns. He likes to read. He has like a katana instead, so he's got a more refined like fighting style. Yeah, he did study the blade. He studied the fighting style of I forget the name, but it's where you can strike while drawing the sword.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like that's like canon. You're not wrong. He studied the blade, and obviously, especially even with the colors, you can tell they're twins, but they're complete opposite. They're fucking at each other's throats all the time. So it's like a challenge. Virgil's like, come get me. So Dante goes to climb the tower. Now, this is where you find out Virgil is in cahoots with this Arkham guy. They basically joined forces because, well, Dante, if you couldn't tell, he's half human, half demon. He's embracing his human side. This is where you find out Virgil is trying to embrace his demonic side.
Okay.
Yeah. So what he wants to do, this tower is called Temeniguru, and it is the gateway to hell. Okay. And this was the gate that Sparta sealed off long ago with the sword Yamato. The sword Yamato is the sword Virgil has. It's the katana. Mm-hmm. So it's a very powerful, very strong sword. So Arkham is this, he just kind of like this really like dark sorcerer kind of guy, and he tells Virgil he wants to study demons, and he's also wants to revel in chaos or whatever. Virgil wants to open up the gates. He doesn't care who dies or whatever. He wants to open up the gates because he wants to regain his father's power. Yeah. So that's what's going on, and I'm pretty sure the whole Dante thing, I mean, he wants to fight Dante, but one other key to also open up the tower is he needs both of the amulets. You find out the amulet is 2 parts of the key. Mm-hmm. So that's why he's luring Dante, and also probably to beat the shit out of him, because he can.
No, kill your brother.
Oh yeah. On his way up, Dante meets Lady, which is this girl who, she says at the time she has no name. She says she's here to kill her father, who killed her mother, for his pursuit in demonic power, and that man is Arkham. So Arkham is Lady's dad. So she's completely human. Her shtick is she's got like a shit ton of guns. She's got like this giant grenade launcher, just a whole bunch of guns and stuff like that. And you'll like meet and like separate from her like multiple times throughout the tower. She doesn't like Dante. He's a demon. The first thing she does is shoot him in between the eyes. Yeah. So they've also got like a really like tense atmosphere going on.
Yeah.
So she's trying to kill her father. Dante's trying to beat up Virgil. He gets to Virgil. Virgil fucking creams him.
Damn. Rest in peace.
Yeah. And to condense like a lot of it, this is what I mean by the rule of 3, is where the character arcs between Dante and Virgil and the red Oni, blue Oni trope really, it shows up in plenty of games after.
Yeah.
Like, their character dynamic is just a very strong one. And the rule of three of there was a mini boss that was very difficult to defeat when you first started the game, and then the first time you see it show up in front of Virgil, he just kills it immediately. So you're like, yo, this dude's fucking strong. Like, it's intense. And so it's like, you see him, he creams you, he impales you, and that's how you awaken your devil trigger. And then you separate, and then you see each other again. You gained new powers, just because natural, the gameplay or stuff like that. So you're stronger, but you notice he's also stronger, and he has new weapons and stuff like that. And then separate, come together, fight again. And that's like the last boss. Last boss is basically Virgil. Long story short, you find out Arkham is actually Jester, this weird clown demon character that shows up a whole bunch and is really weird and says weird stuff. And he kind of antagonizes all the characters throughout the game, and he's manipulating you to do what you want. Found out Arkham and him are the same character. And he basically used you all to tire. He knew everyone there was more powerful than him, so he used everyone to tire themselves out so he could basically, like, get rid of you and then take care of the tower. And then he would gain the power of Sparta.
Right.
He would be more powerful. But you obviously stop him. And then Dante just calls Lady. And then the name sticks. She says, I have no name. And then, and then you end up defeating everything. And Lady says to Dante, because this is the part where you defeat Virgil, and then he falls into, like, the depths of hell or whatever. So then you're like, oh shit, he's dead. He's, like, legit dead. And at the end, it's like Dante's crying, and Lady says, like, oh, maybe somewhere out there, a devil may cry when he loses a loved one. And it ties into the whole thing.
There we go.
Yeah. There's more, but I cannot.
Yeah. Well, you know what we could possibly do is finish this conversation on your channel someday.
My channel?
Because do you want to plug that?
My channel is ovuwow, twitch.com.
Ovuwow, can you spell that?
OVUWOW. I streamed Devil May Cry, and then I stopped streaming. So I played a few other games, but I just couldn't get into it as much as, like, other ones.
Right.
I knew this was fucking gonna happen. I'm so sorry.
No, it's like, it's good. We did go a little longer than usual, but I'm glad we're wrapping it up now at least. So not too long.
I'm really trying not to torture everybody.
No, I appreciate it. You're doing a good job. I enjoyed learning all about all this stuff about Devil May Cry, and it seems like a funny series I kind of want to get into.
Dude, most of the wacky stuff happens in 3, which I cut out for, like, time reasons. But, like, it really is just one of those fun games. Like, it started off as, like, a game that just really, like, hooked you as a kid. And it had, like I said, smart gameplay aspects and stuff like that. But, like, it just really attracted you then. And as the games went on, it became more refined to, like, keep you going. Like, 5 is literally one of the best. Like, I was talking about 3 is, like, the best game to a lot of people. 5 is literally the best game I've ever played. And if you look up reviews, like, people will say it's the best game they've ever played, like, mechanically and stuff like that.
Right.
It's Devil May Cry, so the story's still silly, but it's cool. It's a fun game.
Very
it's
cool.
Really fun. Yeah.
Something I should definitely get into.
Yeah. Sorry, I basically held you at gunpoint.
Oh, don't worry. No. Help me at, like, laser arm cannon point. Did you before we say our goodbyes, did you want to plug anything else of yours? I don't know if you had, like, an Etsy or something, or, like, Twitter.
Do anything.
Oh.
Yeah. I play Devil May Cry. That's what I
can tell.
Yeah.
I can easily tell.
That's legit it right now for my life. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Basically, I do stuff on Twitch sometimes, Not since November. Oops. Yep.
Well, Mo, I mean, thank you so much. We're very glad to have you on the show
Yeah.
to help us talk about.
Yeah, thank you for biting the bullet.
We selected this. We picked this. Yeah, we picked this option. We had something to choose from, and we picked this one. So we're very happy and very excited. Thank you guys for joining us on the stream. We really appreciate it. Everyone in chat. Thank you, Mo's dad, for coming on the show. Papa Mo, Daddy Mo.
He got me McDonald's and Tim Hortons. I just
Oh, very sweet. What a nice dad. Everyone deserves a dad like Mo's dad.
He often serves food while I'm doing stuff. Even though I tell him not to, he'll like make a plate.
Oh, that's super sweet.
Yeah, he's nice.
But all right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today as we learned about Devil May Cry. Join us again next week for our next topic. We haven't picked it yet, and we're following like the system of like every other week. We pick a topic, and then we have our audience choose us a topic. So we'll let you guys know as soon as we know what our topic will be for next week. Hopefully next week Harry should be back with us, and possibly Ryan being back with us as well. Both of them were busy this week, so we'll see how that comes out next week. But remember, always remember, maybe the friends were the devils you made cry along the way. All right, everybody. Bye.